But I'm on live again. I don't know what happened there. I can't hear you.
See if I can get you a picture of this
bread.
Just looks like bread.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, it just looks like bread.
Your sound keeps going away, by the way, just to let you know.
Boo sound. Let me unplug and plug back in.
Okay. I'm live, but I have no watchers. Whew.
I have 10.
I've got one. Hello, say hello. Let me know who you are.
Somebody tell me, Sue's not hearing me very well. Can you guys hear me? Madge, Regina, Kimberly, Todd, and more. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Test. 1, 2, 3, test. I need to get Ohio to come in and do some voiceover for me. He's awesome.
Hi, Lynn. Hi, Leanne. How you doing, babes? I've got 11 on.
Can you hear me?
Hi,
Diane. Can you guys hear me okay?
I can definitely hear you
Maybe
now.
they can't.
Maybe you've got a loose jack or loose connection. A loose jack.
I've been a loose jack for a long time.
Hi, Shay. Hi, Holly. Hi, Joe. Hi, Diane.
I'm getting plenty of yeses. They're hearing me okay, so...
Yeah, Diane said, yep, she can hear.
Okay.
Holly
Georgia, Kimberly, thank you.
Hi, Joanne. Oh, it's lovely to see you. I've had a very tedious afternoon doing my VAT return. And it's all going through receipts and bank statements and entering figures. And I had a virus on about 10 viruses. I had to keep restarting my computer. And then for some reason it's telling me my copy of Excel is not paid for, which it is. So then it won't let me. It's just been a nightmare. Hi, Robin. There's the Winkster. He's making me a cup of tea because I've been hard at... Oh, I've lost your sound. Oh, no, you're back again. Yeah, Lynn is saying she lost your voice as well. I've got a really good internet connection.
Uh-huh.
That
could just be I have old equipment here that needs to be updated somehow.
Hi, Christine.
I got everybody still saying they can hear me clearly.
Yeah,
so.
I can hear you now. It just cut out intermittently. Happy New Year to those of you who didn't make it for the last one. Just got in from church, Leanne says. Watched your awesome smoothie video. Yes, I was doing a smoothie video rather than my VAT return. I'm very, very naughty.
Well, you've got your priorities right. Yes definitely.
Well, I had to make one to keep me going. So I thought, I may as well video it. It won't take long. It only took 8 minutes to video and make. But then, of course, there's the edit, which takes a lot longer.
Well, one of the benefits of dealing with supplements in the United States is they are a tax-free item, so I don't have to worry about dealing with sales taxes. And that has been so great because that, as you know, is... And you have to do a VAT on everything then, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
You do a VAT.
Vatable either. My back's good, thanks, Robin. It's looking good. Leanne says hello, Wink. He's saying hello back.
My listeners are saying that your voice is actually going in and out.
Oh.
Check your connections.
Well, I'm plugged in. I've got a nice new Mac here. My internet's really strong. It's got full strength. Which one am I on? Yeah, I'm on the good one. No idea why that would be. I have to blame it on the ether.
Blame it on something.
I've got a thumbs up. That's really nice.
Blame it on AT&T.
Yeah. I got one of my lovelies asked me, I think it might have been you, Leanne, actually. Not sure. I can't remember now. I have a thumbs down on my rhubarb crumble smoothie. And they were like, who could possibly put a thumbs down? Is it maybe because they don't like rhubarb? And it's like, no, I have a resident thumbs downer who literally comes on within minutes of me uploading anything and puts a thumbs down.
There you go. Probably an old boyfriend, somebody you knew from grade school. You know.
It's really funny. You
we just did a premiere, a live video premiere of a video to thank. We hit 500,000 subscribers on our main channel, so we did a thank you video, and just and I was on live during the little chat part because there's a way now you can do a premiere thing and talk, and I didn't set it up. I just jumped in, but before the video started, we had a thumbs down. It was great. That's fantastic.
I know.
Already got a thumbs down and the video hasn't started. Now that's dedication right
that
there.
Is.
I mean, that's somebody you know.
Yeah, exactly. It must be somebody that I know. And the thing that's so funny is they are wasting their life following me and immediately going onto a video just so that they can put a thumbs down, like it's going to ruin my day.
I think it's amazing. I really do. It just shows dedication. I really think it's fantastic.
Absolutely. Well done to my resident thumbs downer, because you are obviously dedicated and focused, and they are great personality traits.
And it could be someone that loves meat. It could be somebody who's invested heavily in the meat business too. That's always a possibility. You're coming on here talking about whole food plant-based eating, and that may be something that affects their income, and they may not like that a bit.
It could be, but it'll be on my video of, look what arrived in the post, or this is my back, day 45. It's like dung, dung. Oh, no, sorry, dung, dung. Hi, Madge. Hi, Deborah.
It could be Wink. We better check.
Yeah, well, Wink says it's him. He keeps saying, I keep telling you, darling, it's me. I don't think it is. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Snow. He's going to go and do one now, darling. I'm going to confiscate your Texas cap if you do that. Well, I will be doing my tax. Madge is supposed to be doing her tax return as well. I know. I do have Monday though to finish it.
So let me catch you up on how my last few days has gone. I did the standard Thursday fast, and I got on the scale, and I was right at 200 pounds. So I said, I'm going to do another day. So I did a Friday fast as well. So I went 2 days, and then went back to normal whole food plant-based eating yesterday and today. And then, of course, I got on the scale this morning, and I was 199. Point something. So that extra day fast got me a pound. So I've got to kind of watch that. As I realize it's a lifestyle thing, but my body is able to put that weight back on if I don't stick to my regimen. So that's where I am this morning. I did make some bread yesterday. We made a little mini loaf of whole wheat bread. I used some almond flour also, and I like to throw in some chia seeds and a little flaxseed, just because I've got them on the shelf and I want to use it, and I hadn't been using the flaxseed. After a while, this stuff doesn't last indefinitely. So if you don't start working some of it into your recipes, if it's been sitting there for a while, it's going to go bad. So I said, let's put a quarter cup of this, and the bread was fabulous, and we're making little bitty thin slices on it with the bread knife, and everybody enjoyed it. And so it's all gone. And this morning I was going to bake another loaf. This afternoon after church, and realized we are out of whole wheat flour. So I used regular flour, but I put 1/4 of the flour ingredient is garbanzo bean flour that we had purchased some time ago, and it was in an unopened package. So that just came out of the oven a few minutes ago. I don't know what it's going to taste like. I hope it's amazing, because it sure smelled good. The dough smelled really interesting. It had this really interesting kind of smell or odor to it. Not odor, but fragrance, whatever the word I'm looking for. Odor kind of. No, it smelled good, and so. Actually, I had to get the DW to take it out of the oven. It's got to cool for about 20 minutes or so, but we're going to taste it. I'm going to let you guys taste it with me here shortly. It should be pretty good. I know I have a fourth dimension where you can click a button and you can actually enjoy the smell too. So. Oh,
fantastic!
Yeah, you don't really believe that, right?
I think it's going to be delicious. And the thing is, I've tried all sorts of kind of gluten-free and kind of, yummy kind of breads, and they all come out like murder weapons, like house bricks in my bread machine. And okay.
I'm going to give you my recipe. I'm going to tell you how to do this exactly right, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready? Get your pen, Get your paper. I'm going to tell you how to make bread. It's
Darling, get me a pen. Oh, hang on, I've got a pen. Hang on. I'm just going to reach for a pen.
So easy. It's a really easy thing to do.
Right, pen at the ready. And by the way, those flax seeds, they are rich in omega-3. They're really healthy for the heart. 1 tablespoon equals 1.8 grams of plant omega-3s. They have essential fatty acids. It's an antioxidant, has an antioxidant quality, and it's packed full of fibre. So when you add that to your bread, you're getting something really, really good in there.
That's right. That's right. And it's a very healthy product. And we recommend for people still eating meat products, I recommend that they either get fish oil or flaxseed oil and add it into their diet because of that omega-3. Because remember, we talked about omega-6s from animal products being highly inflammatory, but omega-3 being anti-inflammatory. And in our body, what we want to have is a ratio of omega-3s to 6s, with the higher the better. So if you're not adding any omega-6s in, then it becomes less important to add the omega-3s. You're going to get plenty of omega-3s just in your whole food plant-based diet. So if you are on a whole food plant-based diet, it's not necessary to supplement with omega-3s, unless, of course, your doctor says supplement with omega-3s, because they don't understand that it's the ratio. Anyway, so number one, you need basically, I'm going to give you the recipe and then tell you how you can adjust it to taste. You take 4 cups of whole wheat flour, and you want the highest quality, but don't pay for that super expensive stuff. There's some stuff out there that's like twice as expensive as others, like Arrowhead Farms or something, and their stuff is fantastic, don't get me wrong, it's just not necessary. So 4 cups of whole wheat flour, you need 4 teaspoons of the quick rise or bread machine type yeast.
Yeah.
Put that in there, and you put 1 teaspoon of salt.
Yeah.
All right, and this is what I like to also add. I add 1/3 to 1/2 cup of flax seeds. I just put them in there.
Yum, yum, yum. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you want to add flaxseed, then split that in half. Go 1/4 cup flaxseed, 1/4 cup chia seed, like that. Okay.
Yeah.
But that extra 1/2 cup, that's not part of the recipe. That's just sort of add in grain, okay, or add in stuff.
A little bit of texture and seeds in there. Excellent.
Yeah. Put that in a larger bowl and just stir up all your dry stuff together, and don't forget your yeast. Okay, it's important. All right, then. In another little bowl, smaller bowl, you put 2 cups of warm water.
Yeah.
And I like to use 1/3 cup of maple syrup. The real stuff.
That is going to be yummy.
Okay, and then you put that in, and then you use the warm water to kind of, your 1/3 cup, measuring cup, use it to kind of rinse all of that maple syrup off of there, okay? Then you take your maple syrup and water and you dump it into your big bowl with your dry stuff. Get yourself a spatula and you just stir. Don't get your hands in, don't knead, K-N-E-A-D, don't knead it. Just stir it until it becomes this big lump. All right.
So do you add the water to the flour or the other way around? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Yeah, no, you add the water and the maple syrup, you pour it into the bowl with the flour in it.
And mix and stir.
Mix and stir. You just stir it up. It only takes about 2 minutes and it'll form a big lump.
Yeah.
You don't want to keep stirring beyond that, okay? Just go to there. Then you get a Pyrex the size of the bread loaf you want to make. And I think the Pyrex I have, and this will be good for those of you on the metric system, I think it's a 1.5 liter rectangular shaped Pyrex baking pan. Okay. And I take like Pam or a vegetable spray, and I just spray the sides real quick and set it down. And then you take that big pan and you just bloop, the whole thing just plops right in there. And I take my spatula and I just kind of tap it down in there so it kind of goes into the corners and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I like to make like a little checker mark design on the top. As soon as you do that, you go over to your oven and you turn it to 390 degrees, start it on bake, and turn on your timer for 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Then you'll accomplish two things. Your oven will get up to the 390 degrees, and that's how long it takes the yeast to actually work on the bread.
So you put it in a cold oven?
You don't put it in a cold oven. So your bread is still sitting on the counter for the 20 minutes on your timer.
That it's taking for the oven to get to temperature. Okay, gotcha.
The oven will get up to the temperature while your bread is rising. That happens simultaneously.
Woo woo.
Okay. Then when your timer goes off, you open the oven, you put your bread pan in there, you shut the oven, and you set your timer for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay? And you let it cook for 40 minutes. And when the timer goes off, take your bread out and put it on the counter and just let it wait 20 minutes. Again, wait 20 minutes. And that's how long it needs to cool down. And then you'll be able to take the edge of your little Pyrex and tip it, and this beautiful loaf of bread will tip out, and you set it on your cutter, and you need one of those serrated knives, a little bread knife, and then you can just slice off tiny slices of bread, or thicker if you want, or whatever you want. And you will have the best bread. Now, substitutions that I like to make, I like to substitute one of the cups of the whole wheat flour with something else. Like I've used almond flour before for one of the 4 cups. So in that case, I put in 3 cups of the whole wheat flour and 1 cup of the almond flour. I made a cup of that, and I put the chia seeds in, and I did everything else just like we talked about. I took it to the office and gave it to Dr. McLennan, who works with me. He took it home and ate it. He said it was the best loaf of bread he'd ever eaten in his life.
Yes!
Okay? So it's not that complicated. Making bread is really easy, and it's a really very, very healthy way to get your starch, and you can get your chia in there. And if you want your omega-3s, you can get those in there. It's got a wonderful texture and a taste, and it's super fresh. You made it yourself. It's got no preservatives. You can leave it out on the counter for a couple of 3 days and let everybody, cut a little piece off and enjoy a piece of bread with whatever they want to put on it. It's a good way if you like almond butter, or if you like natural peanut butter, or any of the other nut butters. Okay, you can put that on there. If you like to do guacamole, you can put a little guacamole on there. Anything you want on it, really, that we talk about, the whole food plant-based stuff. So that's how I make bread. And if you follow those instructions to the letter, I promise you, Sue Verhoeven, that you will make fabulous bread that everyone in your family will love.
I'm going to be videoing me making that, because I always use a bread machine, and our bread machine is, it's old and Finian, so I reckon it's about 20 years old. It was given to me by a friend. And I've just shied away from actually making bread, but that sounds really simple. And I must actually talk to Alicia, because she had a bread recipe. She's sent it to me, but she asked me not to forward it because she was going to make some tweaks to it and test it out again. So I must chase her up on that. Thank you for sharing that, because you could add, like you added the garbanzo bean flour, you could add coconut flour, you could add all sorts of different flours that would give you the benefits of those nuts in the bread as well. So that's just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I want to throw in here, I watched a documentary. Yes, Leanne asked, any kind of flour. You can substitute 1 cup of the wheat flour for another kind of flour if you like. I don't know if you can use rice flour. Now, I just ran out of wheat flour this afternoon, so I just made a loaf that had 3 cups of all-purpose white flour, which we don't like, right? That's not ours, but I had it, and so I wanted to use it up. And I put in 1 cup of garbanzo bean flour. So, yes, Bonnie, we talked about it. I love almond flour. I don't know if I'd make the whole thing out of almond flour, but you could substitute 1 of the cups of the whole wheat flour with almond flour, and you can really taste it.
Yeah.
So
Spelt
I'm
flour,
gonna
Lynn is saying. That she's used spelt flour. I mean, I'm gonna make one like that, but I'm also gonna make a gluten-free one, and see if I can get anything that actually tastes anything half nice. I have a question here, from, where's it gone? Carol. She's saying, any suggestions for a quick, filling and plant-based breakfast, please?
Yeah, sure. 2 bananas and an avocado.
There you go. That's super quick and super filling. The other thing that's really good is you can make porridge out of like quinoa. You can make it out of kind of any of the grains really, like oats obviously, but you can add, barley, flaked barley and all sorts of different oats like that. And you can also throw in things like chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, nuts, anything you like. You can put acacia berries. I don't even know if I pronounced that right, but the little superfood red ones. You could put anything like that. You could chop a banana into it. You could add some blueberries. You could put a little handful of sultanas or something into the porridge whilst you're cooking. It takes about 5 minutes. And that is super filling, and it's really warming on a cold day. Because sometimes you feel you want something all lovely and warm inside you. So that's really quick and filling. But, a couple of bananas and an avocado, and you'll be set to go, and you'll be nice and full. Lynn
Okay, there's a question here.
Okay.
A seeker asks, why would I be getting tired so easily now that I'm starting to eat better? And the answer is you're not getting enough calories, which is the most likely thing. Remember, you're going from a calorie dense, unhealthy diet to a calorie less dense, healthy diet. So you may actually have to eat more to get the amount of calories that you need. Okay, that's number one. So if you find that you're getting tired, you're not eating enough, and that's the answer. If you're purposefully eating less so that you can see the weight come off, or if you've not replaced all of your calories that you were getting on an animal-based diet, then you're going to find that you're going to be losing weight gradually. Okay, so if you don't replace all of the calories that you were getting, you're going to be in a catabolic state. That is, your body's going to be breaking down energy and breaking down fat and getting rid of excess glucose in your body, and you're getting healthier. So you're going through this stage where you're going to feel a little bit less energetic. That will even out. Do I look not energetic? Does Sue look not energetic? Okay, so it just takes a little bit of time for your body to adjust to eating healthier, and the fact that you're going to be getting full on fewer calories. And that's the beauty of a whole food plant-based diet, because you get so much fiber in with what you're eating that you're going to feel full with less calories. And as a result of that, you're going to naturally lose weight until a point where everything balances out. For me, I balanced out right around 200, 199, 198, right in there. That's where I've been now for probably 5 months, 4 to 5 months. And I think, Sue, you've kind of balanced out too. You dropped a few pounds, and then you've kind of settled out where you are now, right?
Yeah, I have, but I feel too heavy and uncomfortable in my clothes. And I think the mistake that I've made is I know that you can eat more vegetables than you can pies, and I am eating way too bigger portions of things. I've been loading my plate. So what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my kind of smoothies, because they've got 100% amino acid score. There's no kind of sugar spikes and crashes. It's incredibly filling. It's pea, cranberry and rice protein. And I can add all my fruits and spices and healthy things into it. So I think I'm gonna do kind of breakfast. I want to shrink my stomach down, so I stop loading my plate. So I'm going to start that on Monday. So I'll track my progress. on that.
And somebody asked the recipe we talked about. Can you use this in a bread maker? I don't know. I've never had a bread maker. I really don't know, so I can't help you.
I would do it on a whole wheat setting and see what happens, and then depending on what happens with it, adjust the salt. I know there's no sugar in this, but with a bread machine, if it doesn't rise enough, you put more sugar in it and a little bit less salt. And we're talking like a teaspoon. So it's maybe like a quarter teaspoon less of salt and a quarter more. You know, you play with the sugar content of it. But I would try it on that setting. I would try it on that setting. Because when you look up bread recipes, it never tells you what to do in a bread machine. And that's been the thing that stopped making me really healthy breads, because the more healthy the bread, the more Finian likes it. He prefers my homemade bread over shop bought bread any day of the week. Of course, Wink likes the sliced white rubbish. He thinks that's the best thing ever.
Well, if you make some bread, I think you'll win them over. The difference is you get a lot more. You get a bread that has texture. Yeah. It's a heavier bread because it's got more real food in it. Yeah. It's not just empty calorie bread. Yeah. Look, there's a misconception out there that if you switch to a whole food plant-based diet that you lose weight because you're eating a lot less and you just don't have as many choices, and that's not true. You eat less because you become full sooner. Your body gives you that. Your stomach sends the signal to your brain that you've eaten enough. I'm full. I'm good. And you don't have to keep eating. Yeah. My problem personally is that I can go past that point easy because I like to eat. So for me, I've got to watch that. But for a normal person that's not a food addict like me, you will find that switch turns on and you will feel full with fewer calories because you've eaten healthier food with lots of fiber, and you're not getting you're not needing to eat more to get that sensation that you've eaten enough. And when you eat really calorie-dense foods, you can eat 3 times of what you really need before you get that signal to your brain that says, hey, I've eaten enough. There's a great new video out there I want to tell you guys about. I watched it yesterday. It's on iTunes. I don't know where else it might be, but you might look for it. And it's a great video because for a lot of reasons, but it's got some of my heroes in there. They feature Dr. Garth Brooks, who wrote the book that I talk a lot about on here, Proteinaholic. It's got Dr. Ornish in it, who's one of the pioneers. He's a heart doctor who was one of the first ones who was able to demonstrate with angiograms that a whole food plant-based diet can lead to regression of plaques in the arteries around the heart. Him and Dr. Esselstyn. Dr. Esselstyn was the Mayo Clinic heart surgeon. I think he also demonstrated this, okay? So they're both of them, they're talked about, but the Esselstyn in this video is the Dr. Esselstyn's son, Rip Esselstyn. Rip has some books out, and he's got the Firehouse Diet and things like that. He's taken over the mantle, so to speak, of taking on the battle, this whole food plant-based diet eating, from his dad now, because his dad is in his late 80s, but still kicking and going and still talking as far as I know, and don't quote me on that, but I think that's correct. But some of these others, Dr. Greger's on there. There's some Dr. Popper's her name. She's a nutritionist. She's fantastic. But the video is called Diet Fiction. And like science fiction, but diet fiction. And it's a fantastic video. No. If you want to understand in a very simple, an interesting kind of story, a lot about what we're talking about, watch that video, Diet Fiction. It's new, it's interesting. If you've watched some of the older ones that have been around, like Forks Over Knives and, etc.
Fabulous. I'm definitely going to have a watch of that. I'm going to be searching for that as soon as I'm off here, actually.
Did I say Garth Brooks?
Yeah, Garth Brooks, Dr. Ornish, and Ecclestone.
I didn't mean Garth Brooks.
What?
Garth Davis.
You did say Brooks because I've written it around. Davis.
That's my malapropism working there.
Excellent. So
I get to talking and I'll throw the wrong word in. So
that's all right. That's all right. We'll let you off.
I'm supposed to tell you that Beverly and Core said hello.
Yep, they're on mine as well.
Okay.
Beverly, I think Beverly's on, unless she switched about. She was on earlier. I just wanted to talk to you about, Sandy, when you make porridge, you can add things like turmeric and cinnamon and all these spices that are really good for you. It's a great way of getting a teaspoon of cinnamon and turmeric into your diet, 'cause it goes really well with that. Chrissy is saying she wished she liked avocado, but she doesn't. Really good thing to get avocado in your diet, because it's absolutely fantastic, is when you're making a smoothie, if you put half an avocado, or if you really want to go for something very stiff, a whole avocado into your smoothie, you cannot taste it. You absolutely cannot taste it, but it makes a smoothie turn into a mousse. So you can make your smoothie into a Buddha bowl, and then you can chop up some fruits and nuts and berries and stuff, and eat it with a spoon.
And that's like 1/2 shot of rum with each smoothie, right? That goes in, and then you. No rum.
I think rum would just spoil a good smoothie. I remember
Probably
when Wink and I first got together, we were doing lots of, drinking loads of alcohol. We were just eating out, having takeaways, and just we both put on so much weight. Wink's never been so fat in his whole life. They call it contentment,
Brooks.
Don't they? But, we were having vodka smoothies. We have a company called Innocent Smoothies, and they kind of raged onto the market, and they're absolutely delicious. So we were having using the smoothie, which in itself is a meal, and then adding alcohol. And really what happened was it just ruined the smoothie. No, it didn't. Wink's saying no, it didn't, because Wink's, I think his taste buds are shot. You don't. Yeah. So I know he's just terrible. So if you're finding, Tracy says she doesn't find her smoothies very filling. If you add the rhubarb crumble smoothie that I made today, because it's got flax seeds in it, you don't just drink it. You end up kind of chewing the mouthful. And again, if you stick half an avocado in there, you'll have to eat it with a spoon. That's a way of getting around that. Somebody is saying that they don't have Lynn is saying, she's found that because she doesn't have a very big appetite, it's easier to eat more times over the day. Have you got
eat all you want.
Is that
if
good?
You're eating a whole food plant-based diet, eat all you want. Your body will begin to settle out where it wants to be.
So if you
don't worry about your weight. We've talked about this. It's a lifestyle change. Look, my situation's a little bit different because I can push it. I can eat more than I need because I like to eat. All right. The average regular person, you just eat all the whole food plant-based food you want. You're not going to have a problem being overweight. Your body is going to begin to settle out.
Yeah.
Where you'll get in trouble is if you start substituting prepackaged foods that are, again, calorie dense and calling yourself a whole food plant-based eater because you're not.
Yeah.
And you know it when you're not, okay? So that's why we don't like this all-purpose flour or white flours, because those are processed. What you want is a whole wheat flour.
Yeah.
The closer you are to the natural state of the food, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's how you can get the more filling. And if you do have a small appetite, when you feel hungry again, eat again. And I think there's a lot to be said for eating something every kind of 3 to 4 hours, because if you've got a small appetite, you're not going to be able to get very many calories in. But the reason you can eat more kind of physically is because these foods you won't get, when you eat a whole food, you won't get the sugar spike and then the crash, which makes you want another pie or another plate of chips, or another biscuit. That thing that has you going back, hanging off the fridge door, looking in the cupboard, wondering what you can eat after your evening meal. It's because your blood sugar is crashing because of all the processed and sugars and rubbish in the kind of food that you used to eat. So you won't find you get that with, whole foods. Absolutely not. Deborah's eating a nice green salad with lettuce, tomatoes, broccoli, cucumber, and garbanzo beans. Garbanzo
I love,
beans.
remember those garbanzo beans. I'm going to see if I can get the DW to bring me a slice of that bread.
Oh, yummy. Yes, definitely adding spices to things. I mean, spice into all your smoothies, is really, really good. Really, really good. Because it's just like, if you're trying to add a lot of turmeric to your diet, because turmeric has been proven it's just got like loads of health benefits. Cinnamon has just got a whole heap. And that's also good for regulating the blood. And it's good for diabetics as well. And, it's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to add that to? You can't add it to a salad. You can add it to a dressing, but how much of it can you eat? But when you're making a smoothie, you can add a great big teaspoon in and whiz it all up, and it's just delicious. Absolutely delicious.
You can also throw in some nuts.
Yeah. Nuts are great. And if you whiz it up loads, the nuts get very small. Or if you only whiz it up a bit, you've got crunchy kind of nuts in it as well. Mm-hmm. So I agree. If you were to just eat smoothies all the time, in the end, you would just be like gagging to chew something, crunch something, which is why I add a lot of texture to my smoothies. Hi, Joanna, saying hi to us both, and that we're being very informative. I'm really glad.
Okay, you got to talk for just a moment. I'm going to go get a piece of the bread. The DW is doing something, so I'll be right back.
Oh, you be right back. So, Karen, you said I was told by my doctor that. What were you told, Karen? I don't know. I haven't seen the comment. I'm trying to look for your little face icon. I don't know what you're talking about there, sweetheart. Let me know. Sandy doesn't fast. She's lost 8 pounds since starting and now feels comfortable with her size. I focus on feeling healthy. Absolutely. It goes by feel, You know if your clothes are feeling a little bit tight, and you also know if they're feeling a little bit loose. And then there's that little bing that goes off in your head that goes, I wonder if I can fit into those jeans. And out of the cupboard you get them, and you're like, oh my goodness me, I can get them on. And that's a whoop whoop round the bedroom, leaping about, feeling fabulous. So you can tell by how your clothes feel on you, unless you're wearing yoga pants and pajamas and stretch pants all the time. And that's what I tend to do when I know I'm putting on weight, so that I can be comfortable. But then the day comes when you have to actually leave the house and put some jeans on, and then you're in all kinds of trouble. So maybe that's not such a good barometer. Tomorrow's going to be food hell. My daughters are throwing a birthday lunch for me. Not even a flexitarian would survive the day. So tomorrow is a wipeout. Oh, Jack, that looks gorgeous. Hold it up to the camera a bit more so we can have a look at that texture. Hold it still. Oh, that looks lovely. And the garbanzo flower's given it a slightly yellow colour. Because it's a pale yellow, isn't it, that flower?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you can see, if you look closer,
yeah,
you can kind of see those flax seeds in there.
Yeah.
And the chia seed. Because they don't really get altered in this cooking process. So, like if you took just about any kind of nut, small nut, and like if you were making banana nut bread, right? We've all done this, right? And you taste the little nuts and pieces and stuff like that, right? So I can taste the chia seeds. It makes it a little crunchy. Yeah. And I can taste the little flax seeds, makes it a little crunchy too. And the garbanzo bean flour, it's an interesting taste. It's not, terrible. It's not, I like the almond flour a little bit better, I think. But what a different taste. I mean, it's all about trying and tasting different things too. And this is actually quite good.
So the garbanzo bean flour be slightly more savoury than the almond flour. So perhaps. I wonder if you were to make some bruschetta. Is that the word you have? It's an Italian word. It's that Italian starter.
And I don't know what that is, so.
Right, let me tell you what it is. It's absolutely delish. You take slices of bread. It's normally ciabatta bread, like the Italian bread, which the reason it's got me thinking is because that would be great with it. You slice up tomatoes. You would love this. You lay them all on the top and you sprinkle it with, some herbs, maybe a little bit of garlic, drizzle with olive oil, and you put them under you make toast out of it and you put it on the top, and it's a kind of it's called bruschetta.
I've had that before.
Yeah, they maybe call it, I don't know, something else there. But
it's really healthy until you dump the olive oil on it.
Well, yeah, but you don't have to put the olive oil on it. But I'm saying that's what bruschetta is. But that would be really nice with just some sliced tomatoes and a little bit of maybe lemon juice or something on it. Right, I've got...
You know what I do?
What's that?
I take a little avocado and use it like butter.
Oh, nice.
And then I'll lay sliced Roma tomatoes.
Nom, 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 nom.
And then I'll see the thickness there?
Yeah.
Like about this thickness, not this thickness.
Yeah.
So that's about, I don't know, about a half an inch.
Yeah.
And I'll make a little sandwich out of it. And it's so good.
Nice.
I mean, it's amazing.
So that's an alternative to butter. Obviously not for you, Chrissy, because you don't like avocado. But that gives you a buttery taste. And you can also use coconut butter is delicious as well. Right, so Tracy is saying her daughters are throwing a birthday lunch for her. Not even a flexitarian would survive the day. So tomorrow's a wipeout. I don't know what they'll be serving you, but so just good luck, girl. I know that you won't want to offend. But I bet there'll be some kind of salady stuff there, and you can heap up on that. Maybe take smaller portions of other things, because you're going to feel really awful after going back to all the old food. You want to save yourself a hell of a stomachache and just feeling like, ugh. So see what you can do with what's on offer. Okay. Karen was told by her doctor that if you had acid reflux, it's better to eat 6 small meals a day than 3 larger ones. Is that good advice?
Sometimes.
Sometimes
it is. If you have a hiatal hernia that leads to esophageal reflux, then by not overloading the quantity in your stomach, you're less likely to push food and acid back up.
Right. Cool. But if you go to a whole food plant-based diet, you'll find your acid reflux will start to go away, because
slowly.
Yeah.
It takes time, but it will improve.
It will improve. So that's something to look forward to. Thanks for rewriting that. I don't know where it was. If you've got any questions, will you please put them in capitals so I can see them? Deborah is saying she's so happy to be down a dress size. Woo woo!
Yay!
High five to you, girl.
Me too. I'm down a dress size.
Excellent. Sandy works in a popular supermarket and noticed today people buying more veg, and had great conversations today asking, are you starting plant-based diet, and recommending our group. Oh, thanks, Sandy. That's fantastic. One of my long-term friends, she was just like, oh, I couldn't do veganery, that's too hardcore. And I said, you know what? It's easier than you think. Just have a look at the website. And she came back to me and she said, I'm going to do veganuary. And I'm just like, yes! Because that's where I started. I just never went back, so I felt so great. So that's feeling good. Core can't fast. Her clothes are a bit loose. No scales for me. I get stuck on the numbers. If you get stuck on the numbers on the scale, because, if you were Dr. Gilmore and you were wanting to lose weight, and I've literally been stuck at the same weight for a while as well, that would have a negative impact on you, and you're more likely to go, oh, it doesn't work for me, think I'm going to eat some cake. And before you know it, you could, so if the scales and the numbers on them bother you, don't get on them.
Look in the mirror, look at yourself, and decide, do you want to be healthy?
Yeah.
Make yourself healthier. Your weight will take care of itself. Make yourself healthier. That's the key. Yeah. Lifestyle change. We're not here. This is not a weight loss diet. This is a healthy way of living. program that we're doing. You know, we all realize that if we're coming off a, you know, animal-based diets, that we're unhealthy in lots of ways. And one of the ways is most of us are overweight or obese. And I was one of those people. For me, I made weight loss a goal. So I wanted to change my diet, but I also wanted to lose the weight. So I pushed myself to lose the weight too.
Yeah. Hi, Becky. Hi, Debs. Snow, I don't know where your question is, sweetheart. I can't see it. So stick it in capitals and ask it again, babes. Deborah's not weighing herself again until the 1st of February. You're doing so well. Deborah is literally just blowing it out of the water. You're doing amazingly. And I think that's good, because if you don't weigh yourself for all that time, you know that you're moving in the right direction by leaps and bounds. It's a bigger number to look at. But don't forget, as I said before, measure your body. Measure your body, because fat takes up about 6 times more space than muscle. Okay, so for the same weight. So just do measure your arms and your calves and, you know, your all the usual places. But I always measure my calves. So I've got quite big calves from doing lots of horse riding when I was younger. And I just didn't think they would ever be any smaller. And oh yes, they are. Lynn's saying she's really finding it much easier now, just normal. Yay! High five.
That's the idea.
That is why this isn't a diet. It's why it's a lifestyle change. I don't want to go back to eating the rubbish and being ill all the time. Oh, hallelujah. I mean, just like, that's fantastic. And anyone who's still on the fence, anyone who's watching but not commenting, you know, just look at these comments. You know, we're not making this up. These are real people who have really embraced it and got on board. Some of them have got on board little by little. They've kind of stopped the processed foods, and then they cut meat out, and maybe they're still on fish, and maybe they're still on dairy, and they've gradually cut it out. And the results and how everyone's feeling, you know, meds that they're not on. 2 people have not had a medical procedure, an actual surgery or procedure, because the thing they were going to have it for has gone away because they're healthy eating. So
wonderful. It's fantastic, and
it's just joyous.
It is, isn't it great? Don't you feel good talking this way and talking to people who are really, they're coming back and they're saying, I feel great, I'm feeling better. You know, it was a big change, but now I would never go back. And you know, it's fantastic. And the evidence continues to mount, and more people are finally, you know, clicking and saying, you know, what are we doing to ourselves? You know, why do we as a society continue to get sicker? And they're telling us that we need to eat more protein, and we need to eat more dairy, and we need to eat more blah, 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 blah. And the fact of the matter is it's all marketing for some big manufacturing group or meat group or dairy group or chicken group or whatever. And they're just making the money. They don't care. They don't care. Eat a high fiber diet, eat whole food plant-based diet, and you will be healthier. If you have type 2 diabetes, it will probably go away. If you have hypertension, high blood pressure, it will probably go away. If you need to be on cholesterol medications like I was, you will probably not have to keep taking that. If you are on an acid reflux medication like I am still, that will improve. And I'm not noticing the breakthrough acid that I used to get, right? So I have hope that in the future I'll be able to come off of my acid blocker. But right now, I'm not able to. But that is the very last medication that I'm still taking. I was also on 2 inhalers. I had to use inhalers to be able to carry on conversations. I no longer have to do that. And that's because I cut out the animal products that were causing inflammation in my lungs.
Yeah, and the dairy. The dairy produces mucus, doesn't it? Like, you should... Yes. They always say if you've got a cold, never eat cheese, because it just makes the mucus thicker. It makes your head thicken up, and it's just like, you know, it makes phlegm. So I bet, you know, that really helped you. Deborah's husband is noticing that her lower stomach is getting smaller, and she's doing targeted exercises. And that's fantastic, because as you lose weight, you'll be more mobile, you'll have more energy, you'll be more flexible, because the whole food plant-based eating helps with muscle ache, it helps with aches and pains, it helps with mobility, joint mobility, ligaments, and all these things it helps you with. So you might find you can do things you previously couldn't, but don't go doing anything without checking with your doctor. I don't want anyone hurting themselves. But you'll have more energy.
Never stop a medicine without getting an okay from your doctor, okay? I mean, we're not, I know a lot of you, I've reviewed your medicines and things like that, but I'm not able legally to tell you to stop a medicine. There was a medical question from Madge Wales. She said her elderly mom had multiple medical issues, fell over in June, large hematoma on the right leg below the hip. That in the UK they do not drain, but it's still there, but it's getting smaller, but it's painful. Any advice? I would say a topical anti-inflammatory. Diclofenac is the name of a generic gel product that's available here, and I suspect it's available there in the UK. Very, very inexpensive, and it could be applied topically for pain relief and reduce the inflammation. But unless you can find a doctor that's willing to put a needle into it and drain it, and if it's this old, it's probably coagulated, it's probably not going to drain. Go back and see my Shark Baby Seal videos, and you'll see what I'm talking about. If you've seen my old videos, look up Shark Baby Seal, and you'll see what she went through with a very similar situation. I even put her in the hospital, and they refused to do anything about it. I ended up having to do it in my clinic.
Oh my
But
goodness.
sometimes these will actually just work themselves to the surface and break out. Sometimes, though, if they're very deep, the body will go ahead and absorb it, but it takes a very long time and it's painful. So usually oral anti-inflammatories I don't recommend in elderly people because they can lead to bleeding and also an increased risk of stroke and heart attack. But I'm very okay with the topical anti-inflammatories such as diclofenac that I mentioned. Okay, and the brand name in the United States for diclofenac is Voltaren gel, but they make it, I'm sure, all over the world. Okay?
Cool.
Hope that helps. Sorry I missed you. I missed that earlier, and I didn't want you to think we were ignoring you.
Thank you. Madge is saying the joy you must feel when you read that someone has avoided a med procedure must make you walk on air. And I know Jack feels the same thing. I mean, his whole life revolves around helping people feel better. You know, he is a doctor, and I'm not. And I'm now, yes, I just feel incredible, because it's like, it means every single minute that we've been on here has been worth every single minute, because we've helped, well, loads of you, but that's just amazing. Imagine not having to have a medical procedure because you just stopped eating rubbish. It's great. Sandy is saying she suffered forever with sinus and catarrh, and that's even improved. She hardly has any mucus or headaches. See?
Amazing. Yay.
That's what you see. It's what you eat that causes these things. You just be more intolerant to the meats and dairy than maybe other people. But it doesn't do any of us any good. Right. Snow White has come back with a question, but it seems like a part of a question. She's put, I've tried magnesium Miralax, milk of magnesia. Nothing makes me feel better. Can't change meds. Have you any idea what condition that's for, Jack?
Okay, tell me, she's taking milk of magnesia and what else?
Magnesium Miralax. She's tried.
She has constipation.
Right. Okay, if it is constipation, what would you advise apart from full fibre whole food plant-based diet?
Well, it depends on what's causing the constipation. There are lots and lots of causes of constipation.
Okay.
So we would have to have a lot more information. Constipation is a symptom. It's not a disease, except in a very few cases. Irritable bowel syndrome, constipation prone, is actually a disease that is just constipation. Without the constipation, there wouldn't be a disease. But everything else, everything from pancreatic insufficiency to gallbladder disease to nerve problems to other inflammatory bowel diseases, things like that. This has to be, it can't be taken just like that out of context. We'd have to have more information as to what the constipation is being caused by.
Apparently she put the question right at the top, but it's not showing on my comments, sweetheart. So can you type it again, please? It's 2 medications she's taking. Right, while you're typing that, let me come back to Tracy Cook is saying she's still not managed to ditch milk in tea. She's literally just having 1 pint a week and she was consuming 4 pints a week. So that is a step in the right direction for sure. Now,
It is.
my husband Wink goes on and on and on about, how terrible all of this is and we're just all freaks and stuff like that. And he loves to wind me up about it. But he now doesn't bother really hardly ever to buy dairy milk because he has realised that cashew nut milk in tea, it doesn't separate like almond milk or hazelnut milk or coconut milk does. It makes the tea the right colour. So I think psychologically you're lifting something up that looks like it's got the right amount of milk in it. And it's very creamy. It doesn't separate or anything. I would try that. Why not try putting cashew nut milk in it with a little drop of milk and then weaning yourself off that last bit of milk?
Great idea.
I think that would be a really good idea, sweetheart. Let me know how you go, Tracy.
I got to tell you, the nut milks that we have, I think they're so much better tasting than cow's milk ever was.
Yeah.
They're just better.
They are. You can just, they're delicious.
They're delicious. They're delicious.
Lynn is saying she has had whole body candida for years and it's finally gone. Something
Yay.
else she's only just realised has changed in this last 8 weeks.
Wow, now that's fantastic.
High
that
five.
really is good. That is good.
That is.
Make sure, if you've had a problem with candida, make sure that you stay away from yeast. Of course, you've been told this before, but the fact that you've gone to whole food plant-based means that most likely you've already made that change. I would stay away from breads, so you wouldn't want to eat bread, but anything else would probably
my
be fine.
quinoa flatbread you could try. Any unleavened breads, flatbreads, and you can make flatbreads with other things other than quinoa as well.
And can I say something real quick before we run out of time? I just put my email address in the chat box. I had some medical questions that came up that just really didn't fit the scope of what we've been talking about here, and I don't want to take time out to talk about those things here. But I'm happy to help you if you have a medical question, a general medical question, and you want to send it to me in an email. I'll be happy to get to it. I'm almost caught up now. I've got a few sitting in there now, but anyway, feel free to email me. That's all I can say.
It's JohnGilmoreMD@mac.com, isn't it?
That's right, JohnGilmoreMD@mac.com. Feel free to do that.
I'm just putting it in mine just in case there's anyone there. What else have we got? So Lynn is suggesting doing lemon tea. Just replace milk with a slice of lemon. Deborah is saying that her husband is cooking pork chops and it's disgusting. Yes! Go girl! You're not even tempted, are you? See? See how quickly your body changes. It's just magnificent. Right, Snow is saying side effects. I still don't understand what you're on about, sweetheart. I'm so sorry.
I think is she the one that was saying she was having constipation as a side effect of her medication?
Right.
If it is, I suspect one of her medications is a pain medication. Is she on an opioid? Ask her if she's on pain medication, Sue.
Okay, Snow, did you hear that? Let us know, and then we'll try to get that answered for you. Lynn still eats a little bread. Try flatbread, like, pita bread or like the whole wheat pita pocket. It won't have any yeast in it. Becky says she used to weigh over 700 pounds. Wow, sweetheart.
Wow, that's a lot of weight.
That is a lot of weight. How are you doing now, darling? Come on, Snow, I'm waiting for you, baby. No, she's saying Cymbalta.
Cymbalta does not cause constipation.
Right, so it's not that. Is it your change in diet you're saying? Because it would be quite unusual for plant-based to cause constipation.
No, but you might get some bloating at first because it takes time for your bacteria in your gut to change. You have different kinds of bacteria that hang out in your gut when you're a plant eater as opposed to if you're a meat eater. And if you want to make the change and get healthier bacteria, you can try some of Sue's fabulous probiotic, right?
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
the fact of the matter is we attribute a lot of the benefit of being a whole food plant-based eater to the amazing way that your bacteria in your gut changes as a result of being exposed to plant foods.
Yeah.
Okay, so the proteins that are produced by bacteria in a meat eater do different things to your genetic system than do the proteins produced by bacteria when you are a plant eater. Somebody really asked if we ever smoked heroin for pain relief. No, David, just to help me get to sleep. That's all. Thanks, though.
Sandy is saying that her constipation has gone since changing her way of eating. That's fantastic. It's better. Do you know, you see, I think, Snow, we talked about the probiotic, didn't we? I will message you some links, darling. I think you should get onto the probiotic. The doctor, she's saying now, the doctor told me it was caused by constipation. Yes, my gut feels horrible. Right, probiotics for you, darling. I will send you a link and let's get you sorted. Try it for 30 days. See what happens.
Look, here's another thing about constipation in general, okay? Look, if you are having constipation, then Miralax works. It's just a matter, and so does milk of magnesia. They work. You just have to give yourself a little bit more. All right? Okay. If you start out with 1 scoop a day and you do 1 scoop a day for a week and you're not happy with it, then go to 1.5 scoops. But stick with that for a week. And if that doesn't do it, then go to 2 scoops. Don't go 1 scoop, wait a day. Well, that didn't work. Darn it, now I'm doing 2 scoops, and that didn't work. And then you do 4 scoops, and the next thing you're spending 3 days in the bathroom, okay?
Yeah.
Take your time, increase slowly, but Miralax works for everybody, and so does milk of magnesia. They work for everybody. Because of the way they work, you will get constipation relief. If your body is getting constipation from Cymbalta, get a different medicine, because Cymbalta doesn't usually cause that. That's a very isolated side effect you're having. My guess is if you're taking Cymbalta, we almost always choose it because there's a chronic pain issue. And I'm very surprised to hear you're not on an opioid or an opiate for pain medication, okay, or for pain. So we see a lot of opioid-induced constipation. It's called OIC. And we have medications specifically for that. They block the opioid receptors in the gut, and they allow the gut to act and work normally again, so you don't get constipated for your pain medication, okay? So anyway,
Excellent.
There we go.
That's really fantastic. Becky is saying she lost over 350 pounds and has kept it off for 15 years.
Well, that's wonderful. What did she do?
Yeah, let us know what you did. And how are you enjoying the plant-based? Yeah, Robin, probiotics and prebiotics. My probiotic has a prebiotic in it, and then it's a probiotic, and then it has 14 digestive enzymes, so that it works all the way through the gut. It's phenomenal.
If you are in the United States of America and you are not getting pain medication and you are suffering, you need to write and call and let your government know now, because we have gone way too far with the pain medication not being available for people that need it. We can't prescribe it in my clinic anymore because we are not a pain management clinic. And a lot of the pain management doctors won't prescribe pain medications because there's no what? There's no money in it. They're only interested in doing the procedures. So if you have lupus, if you have rheumatoid arthritis and injections don't help you, they just kick you out and they say, we're not going to help you. And it bugs me to no end. Let your state medical board know. Let people know, because if we don't start doing something about it, this is not going to change, because we see ourselves as being in the midst of an epidemic of opioid abuse in America, and that means that we're trying to cut back on its availability, and some of that is necessary, but we're doing it to the point now where people who really do need help with pain can't get the help that they need, okay? And I'm sorry. And so people are turning to things like marijuana and, cannabidiol and THC, and I've had some people come in and tell me that, it really helps me, but you know what, that's fine. 95 out of 100 people that I talk to that are trying marijuana or CBD or THC or any of these mixes of marijuana extracts, They simply tell me the same thing. It doesn't work. It does not fix the pain. It doesn't get the pain under control. It doesn't allow them to have a normal life. It's baloney. Okay? So a lot of what's going on with marijuana out there is just for recreational use. They like it for the hallucinogenic effect. And quite frankly, I don't care. If you want to use it for recreationally and you find it helps you relax, and I don't care. It's not terribly harmful. My cutoff is alcohol. If something is less dangerous than alcohol, knock yourself out and have a good time. If it's more dangerous than alcohol, we should probably talk about it. You know, we had the 18th Amendment, that we had prohibition, great history in America. We went through prohibition, and then it was repealed a few years later. And I think that's a great cutoff point for how dangerous something should be before we regulate it. If it's less dangerous than alcohol, it should probably not be regulated. If it's more dangerous, it probably should. And I think heroin clearly is more dangerous than alcohol. Okay, so let's keep things in perspective.
Cool. Snow says, thank you very much. What you said made sense to her. Hi, Carrie, sweetheart. Hi, Louise. Thanks for joining.
Hey, David, take your nonsense somewhere else, okay? I'm not interested in your opinion. This is my show. You get your own show, pal, and then you can say whatever you want. So get lost. I'm going to block this jerk.
Yeah, it's good. You've got a bad person there.
I don't need somebody's, I don't need that.
Right.
I really, I'm not here. I talk to these people all day long. This guy doesn't. I know exactly what's going on with this. I know what's happening. Don't tell me what is and what isn't. And now I got to figure out how to block. I'll get rid of him here in a second.
Somebody who's on your channel it's hard to do it on this. I don't know how to do it. Someone who's on Jack's channel, block whoever that person is that you can see the comments so you know who it'll be. Madge is saying she went into the health food shop in Watford. Madge, you live round the corner from me. We should meet. Asked for their best pre and probiotic and bought me the pro. I was told that the pre part was the food that we eat.
Now I gotta figure out how to block.
I'm not sure they know particularly what they're talking about, but there are prebiotic qualities in foods. I mean, the prebiotic is like, fiber that kind of that goes along kind of sweeping the floor of your gut, so it dislodges stuff that's stuck on it. So yeah, it could be. But I think if you're eating a load of rubbish food, then you'd be needing the prebiotic from that. But good for you, girl. CBD does nothing for pain. Sandy, Sue, what is the best multivitamin to take? So many to choose from. Where are you based, Sandy?
Thank you all for blocking him. I'll block him from the channel once we get done with this chat, because the way this is set up, it's very difficult to get back into the main channel, because we're actually using an interface that interfaces through to YouTube. So we're not actually directly on YouTube right now. So it's a little bit Anyway, thank you. I don't need that. I'm not interested in that.
Madge, that you can't buy the Arbonne brand in the shops. I'll send you a link for it, sweetheart. It's sold word of mouth. Sandy, you're in the UK. Best multivitamin. I don't know, you see, because I use lots of different supplements, and my protein shake has just got just about everything in it. And of course I'm taking the Meta 7 as well, which is just like, I think I don't even need to sleep now. I think I could just be awake 24/7. You've cured me, Jack, of having to waste time sleeping and missing out on stuff. I don't have time for sleep. A good probiotic, you're going to be paying for one that actually works. And I'm not saying the one that I use is the only one that works. You're going to be paying about £28-30, which is probably $35 to $40, something like that. The cheap ones that are about £15 for a month's supply, they don't work. It's just, you literally may as well give the money to charity or throw it out the car window, because you're buying a product that doesn't work, and most of them don't work. Okay, and that's why when you find a good one, stick to it. I can I can put a link in for you, Becky, and for you, Sandy. Where are you, Sandy, in the UK? Open Rocks, New York, something. Okay. Thanks, Sue. Dr. G, if people do require pain meds, where can they go to get the help they need?
Well, there are still good pain doctors out there. I'm not saying that all pain doctors are doing this. There are pain management doctors. Look, I can only speak for my state. I'm in one state out of 50 in Texas. And our state is kind of on the progressive edge of trying to prevent this opioid problem that's going on in some states. The number of deaths every day are just phenomenal from people overdosing on these medications. Okay, so in Texas, you need to see a pain management physician who is willing to give you the medication, and they have to just realize that you're a patient and you need help. You don't need injections. You need something for pain. Okay, and sometimes you just have to keep trying until you find somebody who can help you. It's unfortunate, but it's becoming that way, and I just suggest that if your pain doctor is not willing to see you because they won't give you pain medicine, then quickly go on to the next one. Ask your primary care physician for a referral to a pain management doctor who will actually help you. You know, I get that sometimes too. Like, I don't want to see once I have a pain management doctor that I refer to, if I find out that they are not taking care of patients who only need pain medicine, they don't get any more referrals from me. And I call them up and I let them know. And If you don't think that I'm the kind of person that will get on the phone and call somebody up and let them know when I'm not happy, I suggest you need to watch some more of my videos on my other channel, okay? Because I will call you up and I will tell you just exactly what I think, and I will let you know what you did wrong and what you need to do to correct it. That's my job. I am a patient advocate. Okay? If I have a pain management physician that's in network with an insurance company and I am referring patients to them for pain management, and all they're doing is saying, well, we can't help you because all you need is pain medicine, they get blacklisted until they change their attitudes.
Yeah,
it's real simple.
Excellent.
If you can't do the right thing for my patient, you will not get my referrals. I am the gatekeeper. That is my job.
Excellent. You're amazing, and we all love you.
I'm not. That's a lot of primary care doctors will do the same thing, but that is the correct way. And after a while, they call you back and they apologize, and they say, I was a little bit too harsh. We really, and I'll call and I'll say, look, if an injection is the appropriate thing, then do the injection. If you've tried injections and they're not working, you damn well better take care of my patient's pain problem, though. Okay?
Yeah. Good for you.
I mean, it's not fair. It's not right, and nothing burns me up more than seeing a person needlessly suffer.
It's bad, isn't it?
It is bad.
It is.
It is bad, and it happens everywhere. And it's I realize that we have a problem all over the world. There's a problem with this, and we need to find ways to take care of people safely. I get that. But to tell somebody that since you can't do an expensive procedure on them, you're not willing to take care of them anymore, you don't belong in medicine as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
You need to be driving a truck. Get yourself a job driving a truck and smoking cigarettes and yelling at people and honking at people on the road or something, okay? Because that's ridiculous.
Absolutely. Deborah.
I've had 2 major neck surgeries. I've had multiple injections. I'm scheduled for an injection next Wednesday. I'm going to try an occipital nerve injection because I started getting a different kind of pain. But my pain management doctor also knows that sometimes I just need something for pain. And he makes sure that I have on hand, available to me if I need it, something for pain. He knows that I know I can't take the pain medication when I'm working. I can't take the pain medication on evenings when I'm on call. He gets it. We talk about it. He makes sure I'm responsible to him, and he makes sure not just as a patient, but also physician to physician, that he understands exactly how much medicine I'm taking and when I take it. And I take very little pain medication, but when I need something for pain, I need something. And I'm not going to wait and schedule an injection for that, okay? It's not right.
I think that's absolutely brilliant. And people are saying amen and good for you and all that business. And saying that you're being fantastic. God bless you. Yes, and all that business. So I think, they're all saying how much they love you.
Well, I think you guys are awesome, but I'm starting to believe that one of your objectives when we do this is to see if you can get me riled up about something, and you're doing a good. You guys are doing a really good job.
Yeah, you get on your little soapbox every time they go. You have a little howl at the moon, don't you, every time we're on?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh, it's fantastic. Madge, are you on Facebook? Let me know, because I don't think we're joined on Facebook. Madge has been following us. She's been binge watching us since about December. She's been following since about August, the sis, but couldn't follow the lives for a few weeks. And while her mum had been staying. Oh, it's really lovely that you're here. It really is. Yes, Debs is often telling me off when she sees me online. She doesn't miss a trick. It's like, what are you doing up? Why aren't you in bed? It's like, oh!
That's called caring.
No, I know.
That's called caring.
I know.
That's right. And we all need people in our lives that help kind of keep us grounded, right?
Yeah.
I promise you the DW keeps me grounded. If I spend too much time sitting out here working on these videos and doing all this, she will let me know it.
Yeah.
I promise you.
I'm in lots of trouble for not getting on with my VAT from Wink. He just keeps saying, you're very naughty. You're very naughty. You're very naughty.
Yeah, I probably do get my blood pumping a little bit when I get on a rant, and I probably, it's probably good for me to get a little bit of that, aggression worked out. Yeah, this is probably really healthy for me.
Yeah.
So in a few minutes, I'm going to go rinse off some cauliflower florets or whatever you call the little cauliflower florets, and I'm going to have some cauliflower snack. And then I have some voiceover work that I have to do for some videos coming up, so I have to get working on that. So it's time for me to say goodbye. Yeah. And I know that you need to get your VAT stuff done.
Oh, wish me luck, guys. I hate it. I absolutely hate doing the VAT thing. It's the only time I ever sit in my office because I have to do it on my PC, and it's like, so I'm going to be doing that. I may not finish it tonight because technically I've got 6 hours tomorrow night to finish it, and it's never taken me longer than 8 hours. I've had enough now.
Good grief, that's too long. It shouldn't take that long to do.
Yeah, but it's because I'm having to do 3 months together because I don't do it as I go along. I'm really naughty. And then I have to go, right, what did I buy on Amazon? What did I buy off eBay? What did I pay with PayPal?
Karen Crow said that cauliflower bunches are chlorets.
Are they?
I don't know.
I've never even heard that word before.
Florets. I thought florets were for the broccoli or broccolini, and chlorets were for the cauliflower buds that we eat. No, they're not buds, but the end points.
Little bits of it. Oh, right. I've never heard of chlorets before. Wow. Okay, Madge, I'll post the links for the probiotic on the comments of this Facebook Live. I don't normally post it on the YouTube, but as I can't connect to you on Messenger, so I can send it to you privately, I'll put it up on here. So I will do that. Yes, it was lovely to see you too, Carrie. They're all saying thank you and everything. I'm looking forward to my frozen bag of cauliflower, and it says florets. I know all the recipes I've ever read says florets, but it could be a gardening
she was
term.
Laughing. Okay, Karen says she was just making fun of me for saying chlorets. Okay, all right.
Right, okay. Gosh, you nearly had us all fooled.
Okay, she fooled me.
Yeah, she fooled Rose as well.
I'm going to put her on the blue list or something for next time. We're going to make fun of her about something.
Snow is really
you guys
grateful.
Have a super afternoon. We're next up supposed to be on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But I won't make 2:00 my time Wednesday because I have a 3:00 injection scheduled. So we'll have to talk about another time.
Yeah, because we have one of Wink's friends is over from Australia, and the only day he can come and see us is Wednesday. So I was going to have to be holed up in my bedroom, and not wanting to go too long because I want to see him as well. So what sort of time?
I don't know. We'll have to email about it, but I don't know what time I'll be done, but it would be more in line with what we used to do, something probably closer to 4 or 5 my time, which would be closer midnight. To midnight your time.
Okay, that's probably right, because they probably will have gone by then. So but we'll keep you posted with Wednesdays, but it's going to be at the older, later time. Okay?
Right, we'll let you know.
Okay, good luck, all of you. Can carry on with what you're doing, and keep message me anytime, day or night, with your wins and anything that you want to ask about, because I'm completely motivated and dedicated to helping you achieve the best health you possibly can for you. So, and the proof's all out there. All right, lots of love, and we will see you on Wednesday.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.